Hello and a very big warm welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since we looked at CRO. Today we're going to see how is it doing over the last few months, why is it climbing, what could be potential catalysts in the future, and what are the dangers. Now I should say as well, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. We are simply looking at this coin. I've made many videos over the years on this crypto, Kronos. It's one that I've heavily monitored and been involved in for quite a long time, but let's take a look at this. Over the last month, it is up 41%. Now, from the lows of 0.08 cents, we now sit at 0.12 cents or 12 cents as such. And over the last 7 days, it's up 23%. Earlier on today, it was almost up touching the 13-cent mark, which is pretty impressive, but still way, way off those all-time highs that took roughly around a few weeks to develop from that initial starting point. They say 21 weeks to get that momentum from the bottom all the way up to the top there, where it hit 0. According to this, 68 cents, but it got close to $1, which is absolutely insane. So what am I essentially looking at here? Overall time is up 500%. Not a bad return if you think about it from 7 years ago, but there is definitely much more to be had. You can see that pattern emerging and emerging. Some people talk about patterns like they could possibly mean something. Realistically, in my opinion, they do not. Despite having 2 bumps here and 2 bumps here, it doesn't always mean we're going to fly up here. Now, what are the key characteristics? So your market cap over there, 4 billion market cap. It's pushing 4 billion. Now, a few recent developments, of course, over the last few months, there is now a circulating supply of 100 billion as opposed to what it was before. I think it was around 30 billion. So you've got a massive, massive increase in supply that's slowly being delivered out over the course of the next few years. And that will obviously impact price because you always want to have it so there's extra high demand and supply being relatively low. So essentially, to have success here, you need the demand for the CRO coin, Kronos, to exceed the increasing supply of the coin. And that will help push us up in terms of value. The fully diluted market cap is 12 billion, while the actual current market cap is 4 billion, representing the amount of supply that's in circulation relative to the max. And there's $77 million traded over the last few days. Now that and stats here are very important. The higher volume, the more active, the more people are trading, etc., etc. Now, what is there to say on this? Kronos, there's a bit of confusion within the community about if Kronos actually correlates to crypto.com. They know they're joining some sort of partnership, but there is a bit of ecosystem confusion around how much they are connected. And it's safe to say, if you ever watch Coinbase's stock, it doesn't move the same way CRO moves relative to the crypto market. Coinbase is much more hinged to the crypto market and has grown massively, just like Binance Coin, while crypto.com's coin CRO doesn't seem to be as attached. However, that once again is just my opinion. Nothing I say in this video should be taken as financial advice. I'm just taking a look now at what is some of the latest news. Again, CRO 271, the community is really, really enjoying this hype. They're really liking all of the things here that are positive momentum. And, the crypto community for CRO is very, very strong. And it's nice to see a bit of positive sentiment. So keep the momentum. This is all people that are invested, of course. And yeah, there's no real big news here on the kind of stories as such. People are just very happy about the possibility of CRO climbing even higher. Now, as well on this, if we take a look at the actual Kronos news, there's a few different things. One big catalyst that, if approved, could help a lot as well is the Trump Media ETF for crypto. Now, Trump Media files for its third crypto ETF. It was called Blue Chip Cryptos. Essentially, that's what it includes. The likes of Bitcoin, Ether, Solana, Kronos, and XRP. So, again, for CRO to get inside of that list, it jumped 18% straight after. That is quite big news, and that is ultimately why I believe the burn. When they said that they're going to reintroduce a lot of supply, there were a few different reasons why this was, and one speculative reason was that essentially they knew that this could be a possibility, and they needed more supply if they were going to incorporate CRO into ETFs, and so they were like, right, let's just get it done. And again, that's a whole separate topic for another day, that sort of scenario. So, if you're looking at positives and negatives, of course, this is a positive. Being included into a ETF, generally speaking, helps cryptos get more demand and grow and so on. And Kronos being inside of that, 5 big coins, Bitcoin, Ether, Solana, XRP, being listed as that big 5 in that list by Trump, despite being 30th in terms of size on the crypto exchanges. Being considered blue chip is insanely good. So I think that provides a lot of hope in that sense. But ultimately, the crypto market is so volatile and decisive. I think you always have to be so careful. But if you're looking at the coins that I'm holding right now, I never ever know what is going to happen in the future. But one that I definitely will be holding on to for a long while would be, CRO, because there's a lot of stuff on the horizon. And I think if the bull market does happen, I think it could be a good hedging bet to do well. However, if the bull market doesn't happen, then you bet, as we've seen so many times before, it pumps, it drops, it pumps, it drops quite intensely. So, even earlier on this year, 20 cents. Then it goes all the way down to 7 cents, which is an insane drop. And so you can never be quite sure. Outside of that, news roughly just talks about the pumps, the dumps, and all of those sort of things. So there was a bit of disruption during the community, I think, especially around that time of extra supply. But now there seems to be a bit more stability and a bit more optimism, I'd say, is the general sense I get. So this has been a little review of Crypto.com coin. Like I said before, there's a few catalysts that, if approved, like the ETF, the demand for the ETF, that could really skyrocket demand and ultimately the price, because price is always a factor of supply and demand. If we get some more clarity on if CRO is connected to Crypto.com, and if there's going to be more incentives that if Crypto.com does well, then Kronos does well, more incentives like that also will help us. More in-app functions, more demand for the Visa cards, all of those things would help massively when it comes to helping the price go up. What could help the price go down, or what could cause it to go down? The ETF getting denied, Bitcoin going down, because Bitcoin literally is tied to everything in the market, and many things like, there's a lot of short selling pressure on Ethereum. If Ethereum goes down, then so does everything else. The market is so interconnected. But ultimately, demand being higher than supply is what we're after. And to do that, you have to create a good ecosystem with good products that people want to use. I hope you have enjoyed this. Please do leave a comment down below about Crypto.com, about the CRO coin. Let me know how you're finding it. And good luck for the future, and speak soon. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm simply a speculator like everybody else. Thank you.